All right, forget about boring roll calls and messy sign-in sheets for a second. What if your face was your ID? What if attendance could be instant, totally automatic? Well, today we're digging into a smart system that does exactly that, all thanks to the power of facial recognition. Let's see how this whole thing works.
We've all been there, right? The slow, painful roll call, maybe a friend signing you in when you're running late, and then there's the mountain of paperwork. So on the left, that's the old way. But on the right, that's where we're headed. It's instant, it's secure, it's fully automated, and your face is your ID. It's a massive leap forward for sure.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about the problem we all know too well. Then, we'll introduce the smarter solution. After that, we're going to unpack the magic behind how the AI actually knows it's you. We'll look at what the system can do, how to get the absolute best results, and finally, we'll peek over the horizon at what's coming next. Let's jump in.
Okay, first things first. Let's really get into the problem we're trying to solve here. It really is all about that daily grind, that tedious, manual process of figuring out who is where. A process that, honestly, hasn't changed in forever and is just packed with frustrations. I mean, seriously, just think about the time wasted calling out names or passing around a clipboard, and then someone has to manually type all that info into a computer? That's just asking for mistakes. And of course, let's not forget the classic buddy punch. The whole thing is inefficient, it's unreliable, and it is long overdue for a serious tech upgrade.
And that, my friends, brings us to the hero of our story, the smart attendance system. Now, this isn't just some small update. It's a complete rethink of the whole process. It uses the one thing that is totally unique to you, your face, and turns it into your own personal, unforgeable ID card.
This quote from the source material just sums it up perfectly. It's not just a camera snapping a picture. It's a comprehensive system. The key things to focus on here are AI-powered, real-time, and web-based UI. In plain English, that means it's smart, it's fast, and it's easy for anyone to use. So the big question is, how does it actually work? I know it can seem like magic, but it's really just a brilliant chain of technologies all working together in perfect sync. So let's pull back the curtain and unpack that magic to see the real science behind the scan. The whole secret sauce is this concept called a face embedding. The easiest way to think of it is like a digital fingerprint, but for your face. An AI model called FaceNet looks at all your facial features and turns them into a totally unique 512-point data signature. And this is really important. The system doesn't store your photo, it stores this mathematical signature. That's how it knows it's you. Okay, this is the entire process, start to finish. It happens in 4 quick steps. First up, Step 1, detect. A model called YOLO, which stands for You Only Look Once, scans the video and instantly finds every single face in the frame. Then, Step 2, analyze. This is where FaceNet does its thing, creating that unique digital face fingerprint. But that fingerprint is a bit big, so on to Step 3, reduce. A clever technique called PCA shrinks that signature down, which makes the whole process way faster. And finally, Step 4, match. A crazy fast search engine called FAISS zips through the database and finds the matching signature in just milliseconds. Detect, analyze, reduce, and match. It's like a 4-step digital handshake, and it's over in a flash. But look, having a brilliant AI is really only half the battle. The other half is making sure it's actually usable for, normal people. So let's switch gears and look at the user's toolkit to see how all this tech becomes a practical, everyday application. Everything is run from a central dashboard. You can do live attendance right there with a webcam, or you can even feed in video from an existing security camera. Adding new people to the system is super simple, and with just a few clicks, you can pull up all kinds of detailed reports and track attendance trends over time. Now, like any really powerful tool, its performance really depends on how you use it. This system is incredibly accurate out of the box, but there are a few things you can do to make sure you're squeezing every last drop of performance out of it. This table shows something that's actually pretty fascinating about how the AI learns. Remember that PCA step that shrinks the face fingerprint? Well, the system is adaptive. With just a few users in the system, it uses a simpler signature. But as you add more and more people, hitting that sweet spot at 128 users or more, it uses the full, much richer signature. The big takeaway here is pretty cool. This system actually gets smarter and more accurate the more you use it. And when you do follow those best practices, the results are fantastic. We are talking about a recognition accuracy of over 95%. That is a massive improvement over any manual method. And it just goes to show how reliable this technology can be when it's set up correctly.
So what are those best practices? Well, it all starts with registration. You basically want to give the AI good data to learn from. So that means capturing about 10 to 15 images for each person. You want to use a variety of different angles to show the whole face, make sure the lighting is good and consistent, and try to keep a neutral facial expression.
And on the flip side, here's what you want to avoid. No blurry or low-quality images. Don't use extreme angles or profiles where the AI can't really see your full face. Avoid tricky lighting like harsh shadows or bright backlighting. And if you can, it's best to register without wearing glasses. It really is that simple. Garbage in, garbage out. Good quality images are the key to hitting that 95+% accuracy.
This system is already incredibly capable. But as we all know, technology never, ever stands still. So to wrap things up, let's take a quick look at what's on the horizon, not just for this project, but for recognition tech in general.
And the roadmap here is really exciting. You've got practical additions like face mask detection and mobile apps. But the real leap, the real game changer, is the plan to predict things like age, gender, and even emotion. This is what pushes the system beyond just simple attendance and into actually understanding the people it sees.
And that brings us to our final thought. This technology is powerful, turning our faces into keys. But as it becomes more widespread, it raises a really critical question for all of us. In a world where your face is your password, how do we balance all that convenience with our own privacy and security? It's a conversation we're all going to need to be a part of. Thanks for joining this Explain.